Hi Art Seekers, we're here today with legendary graffiti artist Kelly Gravel, the man behind the moniker Risk. Kelly, thank you so much for talking to us
Thanks
today.
for coming.
When did you start to see the street as your canvas?
I probably early 80s, like around 83, 84. I started writing graffiti in 82. And it wasn't about the streets, it was about my desk. During school, my desk and my books and to pass time. And my first illegal piece was on my school, and that lasted probably a year. So the school became too small of a canvas, so I had to go out to the streets.
So what does working on the street offer you that being in a traditional exhibition space doesn't?
Well, when you work on the street, you create an environment within an environment. You change something that's already there. You add to or take away from, or you just change things. Like I like taking totally mundane surfaces and mostly dilapidated surfaces or rundown surfaces and bringing life to them. You know, because you've had something that was once alive that's died and been neglected, and you're bringing life back to it. And you create with what you have, rather than a gallery situation is you create, which you build from scratch. So they're very different, but very unique, I guess. They're both very appealing to me in different ways.
When you go to a museum, you expect to see work, but when you're on the street, maybe you have different strategies about capturing people's attentions. How do you do that?
Well, like my work, I guess I'd have to back up a little bit to explain some stuff. Like when I became an artist, professionally, and I had to support my family with it and all these things, I had to really deconstruct and see what really makes me tick, what do I like. And the best feeling I had was the next day driving down the freeway to look at my illegal piece. You know, driving down the freeway, can't wait to see it, can't wait to see it. Oh, there it is, boom, and you see the splash of color. And then I realized if it wasn't me, you probably couldn't read the piece because you're doing 70 miles an hour down the freeway and it's all these colors. So I was like, wow, I wonder if I could evoke the same emotion without doing letters or images. So I started these beautifully destroyed, is what I call them, color washes, using graffiti palettes to create this evoke this emotion. And I thought it was important that I have some elements of graffiti, so I took the most rudimentary form of graffiti, the bubble or the cloud, and I just did a circle outline of that. And then my aesthetics and letters are all weights and balances, so I did like these 90-degree lines, so these little architecture features. And that became my work to evoke emotion with color, without letters or images. So that's how I took that to the streets. That's what made me want to go to the streets and evoke emotion on the streets, without putting something so blatant as to write something, you know? So
You need something a little bit more immediate.
yeah, and I wanted just to really, so I took this and I did some murals, and I wanted to interact with people and see how it went. And I went to Miami to a Skid Row type place, and I did this mural, and it was a very violent place, and it was very, it was a sad place. You know, someone died there the night we painted. Someone got killed the first night we were there. It was very violent. It was very hostile. As we did the mural, people started changing. By the end of the mural, people set up camps there, and they were singing, and they were cleaning up there, and they're like, "Thank you, I got this great condo now." You know, they're telling all the homeless people they loved it, and I thought that was really cool. And so I started working with Skid Row Housing Trust and doing these murals and talking to the people. And you know, you talk to them and you come up with things that click in your mind that represent something, and then you go do these colorful washes of these abstract pieces, but you have a definite tone, I guess, and that's how it happened. So that's how I started working with my color field paintings, are just to evoke emotion, but it all depends where they're at. Me being a graffiti artist, an ex-vandal, I need to give back a lot now. I think that everything goes around comes around. I believe in karma. I believe in a lot of things, and I think that it's just my job right now to give back and to show the next generation what they can do and stuff like that. So I'm into also doing all this, you know, free murals throughout schools and throughout the city. I just it's very gratifying to me.
So your art has come full circle. You're back in school.
Yeah, back in school. Yeah.
So out of all of your work in LA, which one do you think is the most defiant?
Defiant. well, my most Defiance, I guess, would be, you know, my older work, my legal graffiti, my freeway work. You know, that was just an all-out mission to do as much as I could on as many freeways as I could. And, you know, you're a kid and you're trying to talk back to society and say, I can be heard too. I don't have to have Coca-Cola money to put my message around and show that I can do this. I can compete with them. I'm not forced to just look at their stuff. I'll force them to look at my stuff too. And then one day someone says, all right, now I see you. What do you have to say? And you're like, whoa, that's a really heavy question. And that's when it really changes. You're like, are you an artist? Do you have something to say? And what do you have to say? Or are you just going to continue to write your name a million times and who cares? So to me, that's what started the process. I had to think about what I wanted to say, and I realized I don't want to say anything political. I don't want to say anything with words. I don't want to say anything with satire. I want to evoke emotional color. So that's how it kind of, you know, was it.
Out of all the neighborhoods in LA, which one would you love to get your hands on?
Well, I think I painted them all. But, you know, I have a affinity for downtown Los Angeles. You know, you know, it's the arts district, and just the name alone means something. And I was there when it was desolate. You know, I've been there for over 18 years. Until recently, I've been studios there throughout my career, and it's just, you know, I don't know. I've seen it transform so much that it's crazy. And like, even now, I think it's overdone. You know,
Yeah.
There's too many people there. It's lost. It's lost a lot of the artsy mystique, but it's also, you know, it's come a long way. It's done, you know, it's natural progression, I guess. But I guess downtown, I just love to paint there. You got the old buildings, and it's just big
It's a
surfaces.
perfect atmosphere.
It's just, you know, it's just the place that it seems that needs to be done, you know.
Great. Well, thank you so much. This is really wonderful.
Right on. Thank
Really
you.
Appreciate it.